In the heart of Umuahia, where stories traveled faster than the wind, Nkem and Obina's kitchen wasn't just a restaurant, it was a landmark. Nkem and her husband Obina were the image of marital bliss. 6 years, no child, but full of warmth and success. Nkem was everything a wife should be: gentle, respectful, prayerful, and strong. Obina. He was once the envy of every man. A hard-working, charismatic provider with a smile as warm as the food he served. But suddenly, he wasn't. It didn't happen overnight. First, it was his late nights. Then the strange perfumes. Then the coldness. Obina began ignoring Nkem, brushing her off like a fly. He laughed louder with other women. This got worse. He was no longer himself. His infidelity was now public knowledge. He stayed longer at Amora's compound, his cousin, the one who once lived with them. The one Nkem never fully trusted. She had returned to the village recently and Obina was suddenly always at her compound. He would rather sleep over at Amora's house rather than his own. The villagers noticed. What's happening to Obina? How can a man change like that toward a woman who worships him? Nkem is not perfect, but she doesn't deserve this. They whispered it at the palm wine stalls. At the well. After evening prayers. Obina was not himself. Nkem tried everything: silent treatment, sweet gestures, fasting. Nothing worked. Then one night, she found a strange red bead under their bed. Obina had begun wearing a bracelet he claimed was just protection from village spirits. But Nkem's spirit told her something deeper was at play. His smile no longer reached his eyes. He laughed in his sleep. He muttered strange things. He sometimes looked at her like she was a stranger. Nkem stared into the fire one night and whispered to herself. This is not ordinary. She needed answers. She knew she had to do something. She left the next morning quietly, before dawn. She told no one where she was going. The restaurant was closed. The village assumed she went to pray or visit her mother, who was a known medicinal herbalist in neighboring village. She walked day and night, looking for a sign or an answer, but could not find any. She gave up hope and said to return to her home at night. On her way through the forest, she stumbled upon a mystery in the thick forest that beamed with strange lights. She approached the lights and to her surprise it was a strange shrine. There was Mama Ogodi. Blind. Feared. Dreaded. A woman people spoke of in riddles. Nkem was terrified, summoned courage to enter the shrine as she was determined to find answers. As they entered, Mama Ogodi didn't look at her. She simply sniffed the air and said, "The one who ties others in secret often forgets how tightly they knotted the rope." Nkem froze. But Mama Ogodi said no more. Instead, she walked to a stool, sat, and began speaking in riddles. A flame, once fed, will burn until it finds flesh. You fed it. But now you cannot quench it. The one you tried to wake now wanders deeper than you planned. You are here for rescue. I will give you the rope. Nkem listened, unsure what it meant. But then Mama Ogodi gave her a final instruction. Go back. Reopen your pot. Spread a lie loud enough to shake the trees. Say, the one who cursed your husband will go mad in 7 days unless they confess in public. The fire will draw its owner. When Nkem returned to Umuahia, she reopened the restaurant. But the glow was gone. The firewood cracked, but the crowd never returned in full. The food was still rich, but the laughter didn't stick. Obina was present, but his mind drifted. Still, Nkem served food with grace and smiled like a woman who had found answers. Then came the whispers. She whispered to a drunk who had just come for hot pepper soup. Nkem said a prophetess told her the person who cursed her husband must confess in 7 days or run mad. The story spread like loose ash across the village. And every whisper narrowed in on one name. Amora. She had motive. She had access. She had always watched Obina strangely. Even Obina had grown distant from her since Nkem's return. But then the villagers asked the question that made everyone pause. Why would Amara curse her only living relative? What would she gain from destroying the one family she had left? The suspicion was heavy. But the logic? Weak. Still, the clock ticked. Day 5 in the market square. The market was alive. Children ran through stalls. Women haggled over tomatoes. The sun burned quietly. Then it happened. A mysterious-looking woman stormed into the square barefoot, sweating, wrapper loose, shaking like lightning had struck her spine. She fell to her knees. It was me. I cursed him. I did it. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Forgive me. Silence. All movement stopped. Someone dropped a basin. Another clutched her chest. Obina stood. Nkem froze. The woman's face was hidden under robe. Slowly, she lifted her head. Everyone was totally shocked. But even more shocking than her identity was the recognition on everyone's face. Gasps. Murmurs. It can't be. They would have never guessed. No one saw it coming. Nkem stared blankly, but her knuckles gripped her serving spoon like it was a blade.